Good morning, friends. It's Friday, and I'm back with another chapter from Galaxy Zack. If you remember last week, Galaxy Zack had pretty much firmed up his relationship with Drake, and they had become good friends enough that they were going to go to ride bikes after school together. And so today, I thought it would be a good idea while we read for us to compare Zack and Drake. So I have a Venn diagram that I created for today's lesson. We've got Zack right here, and these are the things that we know about Zack to be true. We've got Drake over here. These are going to be the things that we know to be true about Drake. And right here, we're going to have the things that are true about both of them. We already know some stuff that is true about both of these characters. Number one, Zack is from Earth. Drake is from Nebulon. We know that they are in the same class. We know that they both like lunch. And they're both friendly. We also know from the very last part of our last chapter that they both like the class of planetology. So they have a lot in common already. We also know that Drake is teaching Zack about the ways on Nebulon and in school. So Drake knows a lot about Nebulon schools. And we know that Zack knows so little that he was nervous about school. Remember, what is it going to be like? What are the kids going to be like? And all that kind of stuff. So, and the last thing that we read is they have a play date set for the next, or that afternoon, to ride bikes. So they both like to ride bikes. Look at all of this that we already know about Zack and Drake. Oh, we also know Zack has two sisters. We don't know about Drake, if he has any brothers and sisters yet. All right, so let's check back in on chapter 8 called Zoom Zoom. We only have this chapter and one more chapter, and then the book is done. Chapter 8, Zoom Zoom. The rest of Zack's day flew right by. He really liked planetology. He learned about planets and stars he had never even heard of on Earth. When school was over, Zack's mom arrived to pick him up. Zack walked over to the car with Drake. Charlotte and Kathy were already inside. Mom, this is my new friend Drake. Hello, Drake, Mom said. Very nice to meet you. And these are my sisters, Charlotte and Kathy, Zack said. And I like the way the author writes this, so it looks like they're speaking in unison. Hello, Drake said. Hi, Drake. Nice to meet you, the twins said. Do they talk like that all the time? Drake whispered. All the time, Zack whispered back. Zack got into the car. Drake's coming over later to go bike riding, he said. That sounds like fun, Mom said. We'll see you later, Drake. We're home, Mom announced as the car pulled into the garage. Zack was so excited about going bike riding. He jumped out of the car and pulled his bike out from the corner of the garage. As he got onto his bike, Zack saw something speeding toward the house. That looks like Drake, but what is he wearing? Or what is he riding? Zack wondered aloud. Drake rode up to the Zack. He was riding a bike. But look at their bikes. Their bikes are pretty different. But Zack had never seen a bike like this one. Drake's bike flew just above the ground, and it went faster than any bike Zack had ever ridden. Wow, Zack cried. What kind of bike is that? Drake looked puzzled. It's just a regular Nebulon bike, he said. Wow, you have a really old bike, Zack. No, it's not old, Zack said. I got it for my birthday last year. So they have different bikes. Drake has a flying bike. Zack has a pedal bike. And by pedal, I mean that he has to push the pedals to make it go. So they have different bikes and different expectations for those. Drake shrugged. Come on, time to ride. Drake sped off on his bike. Zack pedaled hard. He tried to keep up, but his bike was not fast enough. Drake saw how far behind Zack was and hurried back. Wasn't that nice that he waited for his friend? Went back to see how he was doing. Would you like to try my bike? Drake asked. Sure, Zack said. Zack climbed onto Drake's bike. It felt just like a regular bike. Hold on tight and press that button by the handlebars, explained Drake. I will ride your bike. Zack pressed the button. He sped along just above the ground. I love how it's all sideways like that. It makes it feel like it's going fast. This is so cool, Zack shouted. I have to get one of these. Zack looked back and saw Drake. He was pedaling Zack's bike and smiling. Drake was far away, so Zack turned around and rode back to his friend. As they rode back to the house, Zack daydreamed about zooming around on his own Nebulon bike. So that's another thing that I noticed about both of them. They both want to be with their friend, so they both turned around and went back. So wait for their friend. I always like it when I'm doing something with somebody and they stick with me. Like if I want to go bike riding with somebody, I want to be bike riding with somebody. So I think he's got a pretty good friend in Drake. I will go ahead and attach a Venn diagram to the lesson today, and you can practice doing this at home with a story that you might be reading and compare some characters there. That is the end of that chapter, believe it or not. The next chapter is called Surprise! So I'm curious to see what happens there. But have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. I love you as always. Bye.